Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Summer Learning Series. I am Ashley Shanley, and today we're going to be talking about Beyond the Basics using MagicSchool AI to streamline your classroom. Before we get started, I just want to introduce myself. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. I am lucky enough to be doing this for the second year in a row. I participated in the Summer Learning Series last summer where I talked a little bit about an introduction to MagicSchool. And today we're going to be going a little bit beyond the basics. So just a little bit about me. I am currently an ed tech specialist in New Jersey. I'm also an ed tech consultant for Kiker Learning as well as Made Manifest. I collaborate with teachers and administrators to integrate technology into classrooms, and I design and deliver workshops for teachers K to 12 on educational technology and how to implement that in their lessons. I hold a master's degree in ed tech from New Jersey City University, and I'm certified as an Apple teacher, Microsoft Innovative Educator, a Google certified trainer, coach, and innovator. I am a new Google innovator. I became one last July in Chicago of 24. So super exciting. And I'm very, very happy to be here. So before we get started in the actual classwork and integration of MagicSchool, I do just want to go over a little bit about the platform itself for those of you who may be new to it. Maybe you've never seen it. MagicSchool AI is this amazing tool that helps teachers as well as students with planning and communication and different ways to scaffold and differentiate lessons and make teachers' lives easier and students' lives easier. So going into the platform itself, it's magicschool.ai. It will look like this. You have the option to log in up on the right-hand side. And once you click that, it will take you to a page where you can sign in with Google. So as you can see, I'm already signed in, which is really nice. So it remembers your credentials. On the left-hand side, they have had some upgrades since the last time we chatted, but the Magic tools are on the left-hand side as well as Raina the chatbot, your output history, and your Magic student. So there are a bunch of different options that you can use with MagicSchool. You can use the labs, love all of the tools that you use and that you favorite. PD resources, if you are just getting into it and you want to explore a little bit on your own, or maybe you're a trainer and you need some extra resources, these are definitely something that you can dive into. And then just a couple of other tools down here. You'll see that you can select a language. There's lots of languages you can choose from, as well as your account settings. So moving quickly into our Magic tools, up on the top you have a search bar, so you can search for a tool if you know specifically what you're looking for. But you also have this toolbar down here for all tools, and it separates the tools by content area. So if you are a teacher and you're looking for some planning tools, you can click on the planning tools and it will sort it for you. If you go back to all, you'll see how many tools MagicSchool really has, which is really awesome. Basically anything you can think of is here. And I know that MagicSchool is working very hard to continue to build all of these awesome tools for you. You have content area, questions, if you want to add some questions in like a YouTube video or create a multiple choice assessment, intellectual prep, student support, which I find really, really helpful for like SEL lesson planning, text levelers, IEP generators, or just IEP comments that you can, brainstorm. Communication, which I find to be a really awesome tool for not only teachers, but admin, or if you're looking to send out some sort of communication to the community, there's a bunch of different things that you can use here. Community tools also, that has its own separate area, which is really nice. And then admin. So these are fairly new. They separated it for, a bunch of different reasons, and it's nice that you can really filter it out for whatever you're looking for. If you have a tool that you are really interested in and you use a lot, you are able to favorite it. And once you click that favorite, it will go up to your favorites up here, and you can change the order however you see fit. So that's just a little bit about the platform itself. But going back, I do want to talk about how we can kind of go a little bit further than just like introducing the tools to one another, right? I want to talk about morning lesson preparation. So whether you're generating learning objectives or developing differentiation strategies, there's so many different ways that you can target your students based on what you're looking for with MagicSchool AI, which is really nice. Create engaging warm-ups, which I find to be really fun. Sometimes, a lot of people don't really like icebreakers, but this is a nice way to introduce your students to a lesson or create those learning objectives. Maybe if you want to like reword it, you have something in mind, but you're not really sure. So let's click on the learning objectives. And I just want to let you know that this is all linked in this presentation, which you will have access to. So this is just a generic lesson plan template. So generate a lesson plan for a topic or objective you've been teaching. So let's talk about third grade. Third graders are being introduced to math terms such as length, weight, height, and width. Let's just say all of that is clumped into one lesson. We use the common, that will go down here. We use Common Core. Okay. Any additional criteria? So let's say I want to include individual practice as well as guided practice. And if you don't think that these prompts are good enough, you can always get help with the prompt. So let's click that. Then it gives you a nice little prompt assistant, which is awesome. So an improved prompt is please generate a lesson plan that includes both individual practice and guided practice. What was changed, clarified by request by saying please generate a lesson plan, made it more direct. It included the word activities, and it was structured to clearly indicate the need for both individual and guided practice, enhancing understanding. So let's accept that. And we are going to say generate, and let's see what it comes up with. And as always, please make sure that you're not just copying and pasting the lesson plan. Of course, we like to use the 80-20 rule, which is 80% AI, 20% personalization, right? We can't let AI do all of our work. However, it does do a big chunk of it. So make sure that it's necessary that you're going over, is this okay for my students? Will they understand it? You know your students best and how they work. So if some of it won't work, you can always go in. You can click the edit button and you can get rid of or add whatever you want. So it gives you the objective. Students will be able to define and differentiate between the terms length, weight, height, and width. Students will complete a matching activity where they pair terms with their definitions and examples, demonstrating their understanding of the math vocabulary. It gives you key points, which is really awesome because it gives you those definitions of those specific words. It gives you an opening, a question you can ask your students, introduction to new material, and then it breaks it down into those two types of guided and independent practice, which is awesome. And of course, we always know there's students who finish early, who need some extra time. There is an extension activity for students who do finish early. Just an option. I know sometimes we're always like, well, what do we do with those students? It gives you that for you, which is amazing. And then it aligns to those standards. So you have the option to copy this. So you can copy this text. You can paste it into a Google Doc. You can paste it into whatever lesson planning tool you use. You also have the option to read aloud. So maybe you're like doing something else. You have a million other things going on. You don't have time to sit down and actually read what it generated for you. You can press read aloud and it will do that for you. And then you have the more option where you can save the resource. The good thing about this is anything that you generate with MagicSchool, it will go into your output history. So if you go to output history, it will show you the title, the tool, created at what time and what day. You can bookmark it, you can edit it, whatever you see fit. And then the only way it deletes is if you manually delete it with this trash can. So it's really nice that everything saves automatically for you. Maybe in a couple months, you're like, you know what, I really like this lesson. Let me go back and see what it entailed. And it's all right here for you, which is awesome. So that's just an example of a very basic lesson plan. It took us less than 5 minutes, right? So there's a lot of time saving with this, which is amazing. But it helps you plan your mornings, your afternoons, any type of lesson plan or differentiation that you need. And it is a really great tool, not only for you as a teacher, but also for your students, because it's coming up with these awesome lesson plans. So moving on, MagicSchool is a real-time classroom support. So it provides different ways to explain tricky concepts when students struggle. You can get analogies and examples tailored to your students' interests, which is really cool. It can create quick assessments for you. So there were like those YouTube question generators. You can create a Google form, which is amazing. You can create exit tickets to check for understanding for things, maybe that would take you a whole day to actually think about and create for your students. It does it so quickly. And then finally, like you saw, the extension activities for those students who may finish early, or even if students need some extra time, it's nice because you can put that in the prompt as well, saying, I have a couple of students who may need extra time. Please give me some activities that will help them prepare for this exact, prompt to stay engaged and explore the ideas that they're working on. So as you all know, as teachers and educators and admin, we never leave when the bell rings, right? Those kids leave, and that's really our time to decompress and get our work done and create all of these things that our students need. So whether it's from an assessment rubric to planning for tomorrow or creating sub-plans, drafting parent communication, or generating feedback for any assignments that your students have created, there's so many ways that MagicSchool can assist with that. So I do want to talk about the assessment rubrics. So I want to take the lesson that we just created, and that is 3rd grade math, right? So I want to talk about students will be able to understand the main concepts of length, width, height, and weight. And then the point scale, it's on a 4. The assignment is for students to work independently, creating some form of some word problem involving those key terms. Okay. So then it says this additional customization for rubric. Be sure to include supporting arguments. However you want to do that, it's optional. If you don't want to do it at all, you don't have to. The more specific you are in your prompt, the more specific the assignment will be, and the more specific the rubric will be. So totally up to you. So I'm just going to generate that and see what it comes up with. So rubric for 3rd grade word problem creation, understanding length, width, height, and weight. 4, exceeds expectations. 3, meets expectations. 2, approaching expectations. And 1, needs improvement. So that's the scale. And then you see the criteria, use of key concepts, problem clarity, creativity and originality, mathematical accuracy. Once you have this, maybe you like it, maybe you don't, maybe you want to tweak it a little bit. You always have the option to edit it. You can copy it, but you also have these additional prompts on the bottom, which is awesome. So maybe you're not really sure what you can do to change this or tailor it a little bit more. It gives you the options. What are some examples of created word problems involving length and width? So it can also give maybe like an example that you can put at the top of your assignment. How can I assess students' understanding of the concepts in their word problems? So if you do that, it does brainstorm a little bit for you. And what's nice about MagicSchool is once you do this, it's kind of like a conversation back and forth. So you're not actually talking to it, but the way that you are conversing back and forth with the questions that are prompted for you, it can create that more personalized lesson and rubric or whatever, tool you're using. So it's nice that you can do that and kind of, make it a little bit more in depth. So once you do that, of course, you have the option to copy it. You can paste it into a Google Doc. You can paste it into a Google Sheet. However you are using this rubric, honestly, if you even wanted to like screenshot it, just so you have the whole thing, you can screenshot it and paste it, wherever. Totally up to you, however you share your workout, but it's all here for you. You didn't even have to format anything, and it's really quick and it's really easy. So this is much easier than coming up with your own rubric, or, sometimes I know some people have been using other AI tools where they say, create me a rubric, and the formatting gets all funky. This is nice. It's quick, it's simple, and it's ready for you. Okay. I want to talk about parent communication. So going back to our magic tools, I know parent communication is a huge thing when you are an educator or an admin or in any type of, school setting. It's important to keep our parents in the loop. So going over to communication, I do want to mention that there are different types of emails that you can create. So there's a professional email, there's email family, there's a class newsletter, maybe if you wanted to communicate with parents that way. There's also a thank you note, so it's totally up to you, whatever you're looking to do. I want to email a family, and my name is Ashley Shanley. I want to say, hi, families. Actually, let's say I want to reach out to my 3rd grade families about the math unit we are starting. It includes length, width, height, and weight. We will be doing fun experiments. At the end of the unit, there will be an opportunity for parents to come in and see the finished projects. And I'm going to say, please include in the email the date of this opportunity is on June 5th at 12 p.m. Okay, so now I'm going to click generate. Okay, and here we go. And it says, it gives you a subject, which is really nice too. You don't even need to think of a subject. Dear 3rd grade families, I hope this message finds you well. I want to share some exciting news about the math unit we are starting, which will cover length, width, height, and weight. We have planned some fun experiments that the students will enjoy. At the end of the unit, we invite you to come in and see the finished projects on June 5th at 12 p.m. It will be a wonderful opportunity to celebrate our students' hard work. Thank you for your continued support. Best regards, Ashley Shanley. So this is just a very quick, simple email that sounds nice. It sounds professional. It sounds friendly. And you can literally copy and paste it into Gmail and you're good to go. So let's say you don't like the way it turned out and you want to go back and you want to edit the prompt. You can go up here in the top right-hand corner and it gives you the prompt. You can go in and you can totally redo it, okay? And then just click generate again. So once you're done with that and you copy and paste it, you're good to go. If we go back, I want to talk about the other ones that we can do. So let's say we have, I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to go back to our output history. I'm going to look at the prompt that I created. I'm going to copy it. And maybe I have some parents who speak Spanish. I'm going to go back and I'm going to translate this into Spanish. So I'm going to do text translator, language to translate to, Spanish. I'm going to put in the text, click generate, and it takes the text that I have in English and it generates into Spanish. So now I can copy and paste that, maybe put it into an email, maybe put it onto Class Dojo and communicate with parents that way. So it cuts out the whole, let me go to Google Translate, let me go to a different AI tool and translate it that way. Let me find a translator in the school, right? So it does cut out all of those steps, and it's right here for you. Once again, it's in your output history. So if you need it again, you can go back, you can copy and paste it, and it's right at your fingertips, which is amazing. So like I said, all of these links are in here. You will get this resource, which is nice. So if you don't, find some of the tools that we're going over, just looking on MagicSchool yourself, you can always go to these links and they will bring them right to you. So talking about writing effective prompts is definitely super important when talking about using AI. So when you write an effective prompt, you want to make sure that you are including a couple of things. Number one, be specific. So include a grade level, a subject. If you're using standards, make sure that you're including those standards and time constraints. A very weak example of an effective prompt would be write a lesson plan, right? A little bit stronger could be create a third grade fractions lesson with a 15-minute hands-on activity. So the more specific you are, the better your generated lesson plan, email, rubric, whatever you're working on will be. Next is to add context. So mention student needs, classroom dynamics, available resources. It would be very weak to just say math worksheet, right? Strong would be math worksheet for visual learners focusing on multiplication or length and width and weight, things like that. The last one, request a format. So specify exactly how you want the information to be structured. So weak would be ideas for science. Strong would be listing a certain amount of numbers of questions for whatever. List 5 inquiry questions for 6th grade science. So it's very important that the more specific you are, the better your generation will be. Implementation strategies. So master one task first. Focus on a single workflow before expanding onto something else. So maybe you want to master creating a prompt for lesson planning. Focus on that first. Once you feel comfortable with the way that it turns out, then you can move on to something else, right? Iterate and refine. Treat AI outputs as first drafts. So like I said before, it's a draft, right? You're not going to copy and paste it immediately after it generates it. You want to make sure that you're reading it through, making sure that it's something that you would, be proud to share out to your families or your students and that it's correct. Make sure that you are not just having AI do all the work for you, because of course it can do all of the work, but however, we do want it to have a little bit of personality and emotion, right? Because us as the teachers, we're never going to be replaced by AI because we do need that personalization and that empathy that we do give our students. Next is integrate with existing tools. So complement your current digital resources. So like I said, if you are using Google, if you're a Google district, maybe you're going to copy and paste some of your lesson plans or your rubrics into a Google Doc. Maybe you're using Class Dojo and you want to take a picture that you generate with MagicSchool or like a text, whatever, you translate it for your parents and then you put it onto Dojo. So complement whatever you're using and know that MagicSchool or any AI tool isn't the end all be all, but you do want to, app smash. You want to be able to integrate other existing tools that people know and love and are comfortable with what you're doing with AI. And then finally, apply critical evaluation. So review all content for accuracy. Make sure it's appropriate. Make sure that you're not inputting any student information. Make sure you're just using your common sense, right? Us as educators, we know what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing, and apply that appropriately. So MagicSchool is amazing because it does save a lot of time. There are some resources saying that 60% of the time that teachers have used has been reduced by this planning time. So teachers report significant time savings on routine lesson preparation. We all know how long lesson plans take and how long, it takes to create a rubric or write an email or create a whole unit lesson plan. Like it takes a lot of time. So using tools like this will save you a lot of that time and that struggle and that hassle. 45 minutes of daily time is saved, which is nice. So that means What do you do with that saved time that you all of a sudden have because of these tools, right? You can create those meaningful student interactions. You can build relationships with your class. You can build relationships with your coworkers. It's an amazing way to take the time to reach out to people that you care about and you want to build those relationships with, your students, your families. It's very, very important. And then finally, 85% of workflow satisfaction. Teachers report improved work-life balance, which is super important. There are so many different occupations where, work-life balance doesn't really exist. And because of AI, now it does. You have that opportunity to go home and not spend your whole night planning, like a sub plan if you're going to be out for a couple of days, or lesson plans for this really big unit that you're creating. So these practical applications help you reclaim that valuable time for what matters most, and that's connecting with your students. So your next steps with MagicSchool would be identify your pain points. Choose one time-consuming task that frustrates you, and this will be your first target. So experiment with those prompts. Try different prompt structures for your specific needs. Share your discoveries. I'm sure there are so many teachers who maybe have not heard of MagicSchool AI, or they have and they haven't had the time, because as teachers, nobody really has time to play around with all of these new tools, right? So share what you're learning, because learning together will accelerate everyone. It will accelerate all of your co-teachers and your grade level partners and everyone that is doing the same thing that you're doing, struggling, trying to find the time to do all of this. This will help them as well. Remember, MagicSchool is your assistant. It's not you. So you are the expert in education and your teaching. You know your students best. MagicSchool is just there to help you, save a little bit of time and move you along. So now we're going to go back to MagicSchool, and I do want to just go over some of the other tools. So for the most part, all of these tools are completely free. There is a paid version of MagicSchool where it will help you export things to like Google tools and things like that. You'll have Magic Student, which is really nice. So students will be able to use this as well. However, if you do want to use it for free, I use it for free and it does everything I need. If you look down here, you also have SAT practice tests, which is really nice. So no matter what grade level you are either teaching or tutoring, or if you're in, college, or if you're trying to get into college, you have all of these options. But I do want to talk a little bit about where is it? I'm going to do student support. So you have text leveling, you have IEP generators, you have tech scaffolders, all of these things. Let's do a little bit of classroom management. So third grade, what is the classroom management challenge? I have some students who are unable to focus on the math lessons. They are constantly calling out and getting out of their seats, which distracts the other students. So this is very basic, very, common classroom management problems, right? Constantly calling out, getting out of your seats, being distractions. Let's see what it comes up with. So it gives you a couple different strategies, which is nice, not just one. It gives you a lot, which is nice. So strategy 1, active learning stations. So it transforms traditional math lessons into engaging movement-based learning experiences that channel students' natural energy productively. Okay, so how to implement it. It gives you step-by-step on how to do this. Divide the classroom into 4 to 5 learning stations. Create 10 to 15-minute rotating activities at each station, hands-on, math game, problem-solving, technology station, teacher-led small group. I'm sure as teachers, we've probably tried everything, right? I could probably tell you every third grade teacher that I know has probably tried to do station rotation, right? I think it's just in our nature to do that. However, if you haven't, this is a really great way to kind of get some ideas, bounce some ideas off of like other teachers if they've tried this, if they haven't. But it also gives you another strategy. So behavior incentive system provides positive reinforcement, creating a star chart. 5 stars equals a small reward, 20 equals a larger reward, send out weekly progress reports. Okay, so it gives you additional advice as well. So maybe in the past you haven't thought of any of this. This is here for you. Like I said, you can copy it, you can edit it, you can, share it out with whoever. So not only is the Magic tool something really great for like actual lesson preparation, as maybe like a new teacher, this could be awesome to help you with some classroom management ideas or ways that you can create some SEL in your classroom. So a lot of different ways that you can use this, whether it's creating content or creating a welcoming classroom environment. So this is really it for Beyond the Basics of MagicSchool. I know it was super quick. There's only so much I can do in this amount of time. But if anyone is to ever have any questions, if you explore MagicSchool, there's also different resources that you can use. So you can become an AI MagicSchool certified educator, which is really cool. There's a webinar series you can show and you can talk to with other teachers about. There's tools, there's an FAQ. You can also get some swag, which is really nice. I do have some MagicSchool swag, so super, super fun, especially for coaches or like trainers. If you're giving a training on MagicSchool, getting some swag and handing it out to the teachers, they really love that. But like I said, you can start for free or you can go into the pricing, get district pricing, which is amazing too, and you get all of those extra bonus features. So I highly recommend going in and getting certified as a MagicSchool educator. It's super quick. You'll really learn a lot. But yeah, so if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm so happy that you guys were able to come and listen a little bit about Beyond the Basics using MagicSchool. And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope it saves you a lot of time. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your summer, and hopefully I will be back next year to talk a little bit more about something else. So enjoy your summer, and thank you all for coming.